believe that the Africa Study Bible is the most ethnically diverse, single-volume biblical resource ever created. I am Dr. Matthew Elliott, president of Oasis International, and we are a publisher of contextualized Christian books and Bibles specifically for Africa to help solve the discipleship crisis. Most pastors, especially in rural areas in Africa, they may have a Bible, they may have one reference book, maybe a couple. Some of them don't even have a single reference book beyond their Bible to equip their ministry. And there's so many difficult issues they have to deal with. There is just such a hard time finding the materials that they need to get the truths and transformative principles from the Word of God into hearts and minds in a way that truly transforms the way that people live. And so it is a crisis to equip the church for discipleship. And for that, they need books and Bibles, but not books and Bibles that just speak to Westerners from a Western heart and towards problems in the U.S. or the U.K. for Western Europe, but the problems that are unique to the African context, and that's what we concentrate on, producing those materials that transform hearts and lives for discipleship so that every ministry, every church, everyone training pastors can be more effective. As Oasis, our landmark project is the Africa Study Bible, which has been an amazing thing to just see God bring together in so many different ways. The Africa Study Bible is a one-volume library that applies Christian truth and biblical principles to life specifically in Africa, written by African scholars and pastors that know exactly what Africa needs and what will transform African hearts. So we have 350 authors from 50 countries that wrote in 5 languages over 2,000 notes on how to apply the scriptures to life in Africa. So in the index, you will find all kinds of things about the context of Africa that doesn't exist in any other Bible that's been created. Hundreds of notes on everything from tribe and ethnicity, contextual difficulties and issues as a pastor there, to African traditional religion and diviners and syncretism. One person said to me, in reading the Africa Study Bible, I realized the difference is if I had a resource in the U.S. that talked about refugees or a displaced person, you would talk to me about taking care of refugees. Part of your message is, how are you a good refugee? How do you behave as a stranger in a new land that's been displaced from your homeland? How do you do that? And this is writing from people that have experienced that. A woman who wrote the article on refugees was a refugee herself from Congo. So those kinds of things. What are the unique issues in Africa that we need to effectively apply biblical truth to that's transformative? And that's why it's just a key resource for pastors and leaders and for equipping ministry in Africa. Over 9,000 pastors now have been equipped with the Africa Study Bible in Africa, the vast majority through informal training and through organizations whose job is to train. Oasis' job is not to be a training organization, it's to equip training organizations with the resources they need. I talked a lot about kind of our flagship discipleship resource, the Africa Study Bible, but that's not where Oasis ends. We're producing books by Africa, for Africa and the world on all kinds of subjects. For example, we have a book for the multi-church pastor. In Africa, it's more likely that a pastor have multiple churches. That is a lot harder to work, a lot more complicated. So we have all kinds of resources that equip people for the context of ministry in Africa. One really exciting thing that has just happened is the Africa Study Bible app has gone free. So get out your phone and your Android or your iPhone, and if you look in the App Store for Africa Study Bible, you will find it. And when you register, put in your name and details, you will unlock all the content for free for your use in ministry. So we want that out, used as broadly as possible, and we're so excited that thanks to our partners, Kindle House and the New Living Translation, and our partners in developing the app, and it is a beautiful app. Now, if you do that outside of Africa, you're going to have to pay for it. You have to actually have your phone in the location of Africa for this to work. It knows where you are.